Hi, I'm going to talk about the book Anxious People by Fredrick Backman. This is the book. It's a very pretty shade of blue, and blue is quite an apt color for the book because it deals with a lot of themes that pertain to being blue, being lost, being listless, uh, just with living. So on the face of it, it's going to be a little difficult to describe this book without giving out spoilers, but I'll try. So this book begins with a person trying to rob a bank, and then it moves to a hostage situation in an apartment, and. And then the story is about how that hostage situation gets resolved. Now, it's not a thriller in the sense that the pulse and pace is not what the book is about. It's about all these people who are held hostages and the bank robber or the person holding these other people hostage. It's their relationship, their backstories, just the kind of mental makeup that has helped them become who they are. In that sense, it's a very in that sense, even like every dialogue between these people is kind of a big reveal. So that is that. But what I really liked about the book, or books of this sort, where the plot is one thing, but it talks about many other things that resonate with you. So for example, there are two cops. One is younger, one is older. They are father and son, and the way you find out about their relationship is interesting, and just the way the difference in the generation and how they relate to technology in the use of their work. Uh, That's quite a compelling scene for even understanding the way we work in our offices now, or the way we work with a varied group of people of varied age groups. There's that. Then I'm just trying to look through I'm trying to look through some parts that I found really very moving. um, so there's one reference to drug addiction, and this is what is basically said of that. It's hard to tell when a person's substance abuse begins, which is why everyone is lying when they say, I've got it under control. Drugs are a sort of dusk that grant us the illusion that we're the ones who decide when the light goes out. But that power never belongs to us. The darkness takes us whenever it likes. That is one part. Then just the character arcs and the character descriptions. There is one character called Zara. She seems to come from a very affluent background, and in that sense, she's a misfit in the group of hostages. And then in a separate parallel story, we see her in conversation with a therapist because she's undergoing some sense of anxiety, or some mental apprehensions and things like that. So the psychiatrist asks her that why do you think money is important? What do you do with money? And she says a very interesting thing. She says, I buy distance. And then she goes on to explain how in society that is the major use of money. That if you go to a fancy restaurant, then the distance between the different clusters of table is more. If you go to a high-rise building, or if you buy the penthouse, then the distance between you and the regular hoi polloi is more. So essentially, what being rich actually gets you is that you get to have the distance you want from the stuff that you don't want to be associated with. Um, then there are just a lot of um, little truisms, I would say, about life and living and love. There's a part where the human heart is compared to a soap, and I love this bit. So it goes, our hearts are bars of soap that we keep losing hold of. The moment we relax, they drift off and fall in love and get broken, all in the wink of an eye. We are not in control. uh, there is just something very poetic about the way the pain is shared. Yeah, this writer has written another book called A Man Called Ove. I believe. I think that's the name of the other story. That too is about just the sweet sadness of a gentle life. It's not about people coming from a war-torn situation or where the world collapsed because of COVID or things like that. In a regular world, in a normal circumstance, there were sadnesses, there was loss, um, there was a love that got betrayed, and just the human experience of showing up and continuing to live, not deciding to thrive or any of those big grandiose ambitions, just continuing to live and still be gentle, still be sweet, still smile at a stranger, still share a book. That that almost soft nobility in doing that is beautiful. There's this other parallel track of an old lady. She has a kind of I wouldn't say affair, but a kind of an impression with one of her neighbors. They exchange books, and she talks about the role of stories and the role of books in that regard. And I'll just summarize here, where the author has explained the role of literature, and he says that literature is when people who feel something by pointing at other people's feelings. And this kind of vicarious thriving, I suppose, is why anyone reads. So, all in all, it's a good book. It's a really nice book. There are portions where I don't know if this book is translated and if something is lost in translation, but there are portions of the book where I felt it was dragging on a little bit, and the people were just unnecessarily rude for the sake of being funny. But that's a really small comment. But overall, it was a worthwhile read. Beautiful, soft, gentle, and even though you have nothing in common with those people and that situation, you still feel that yes, I could be one of them, they could be one of us, and that experience could have been a shared one. And that perhaps is any story's triumph. Thank you.